No, because we want the slip, and that's part of it. Oh, you're biting. I thought it was all in, wasn't it?
No. He bites. You're allowed to like bite and peel.
You ain't doing this, bro. There's no way. Oh! Yeah. Go ahead, Tom.
You're drinking.
Honestly. You said that last time. Yeah, no, he's kind of doing it. Oh, what was that sound? Oh my god, this is ASMR shit. Wow, man slurping.
Get Mike, slip out.
Oh, it's big. Oh, wow. So much liquid. Yeah, you're smashing it though. That's a jaw workout, you know that. Look at the strain.
Oh my Jesus.
Yeah, great one, sisters.
Yeah, don't choke it.
Oh man. Oh my god, that moist sound. Can't wait to hear that over the mic.
I can't breathe.
What's it?
Just trying to breathe.
Oh, I thought you said something about cheese.
Kicking off. Wow.
Aspo podcast.
Done and dusted.
Apologies, ASMR podcast now.
No,
Right.
Light work, so
yeah, done.
what's next?
Do that. Next.
What is next?
Well, I hope you enjoyed that start to this
The
episode,
struggle.
because that was the most random start you'll ever see. Yeah, that's 3 minutes of your time
I
wasted.
mean, we've talked about having you do this for like the past 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
every week he does it prior to us filming, and it's like, well, why are you doing this?
Do it on cam.
And here we
People
are.
wanna see.
This is probably why we did it before, because 3 minutes of him struggling.
I've just soaked your floor now,
Yeah.
so no apologies.
Right.
But what episode are we on now?
7. We're on 7.
Jeez. The series is flying by.
Casual
It's
thing.
been a bit of a slow week. Nothing's really happened.
Oh, nothing.
Again.
Niche.
We
Well,
get these
actually,
weeks. We get
there's
these
been-
weeks where like nothing happens, and then
1 week
we'll
is just
plan for the
flat
next
out.
week, and then loads of shit will happen.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the week where the
Feel
whole
you.
Donald Trump shit and the Capitol building being stormed. We made a plan to do
Yeah.
a specific episode, and
And
then
then we
all
end
that
up
shit
cramming it
happened.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to talk about it now.
It's fucking mad. And now we got another week where nothing's happened.
Yeah. So we've been chatting, and we thought it would be a good thing to obviously cover off the McGregor. McGregor. I
Yeah.
forgot. I was thinking Mayweather then.
No, because that is something that happens.
Yeah, of course.
As in, like,
It's
there
probably
has
the-
been some stuff, nothing major, but some
It's
shit
probably
that we
been
have to
something
talk
Yeah.
about.
everyone's been looking forward to as well since it's been announced. Obviously, McGregor scrapped Cerrone last year, was it?
I think so. Yeah, it was early last year.
Yeah, when there was 0 fans in the stadium, right?
Yeah.
Or was it early?
No,
Or was it actually
Cerrone had stadium. Cerrone had fans.
Yeah.
Cerrone and McGregor.
Got no fans.
Because the whole thing started in March, didn't it? I honestly
I think it was
he
before,
fought
wasn't it?
in like Jan.
Yeah, I think you might be right, to be fair. So, obviously, he's come back this time round to scrap Dustin Poirier, and a lot of people are ruling him out. Poirier, well, like,
I struggle
I
with
guess
his
like
name.
normies.
Struggle with his name so hard.
Yeah.
Every time I
I
go to
always-
say, I'm like,
We call him Dustin, alright?
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
make it easy.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone was kind of like ruling him out that's not really a UFC fan, I guess, and was just there to follow the hype train of McGregor. But I thought it was a good scrap.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did rule him out first round. I was like, he looks shook. McGregor's landing shots, and it's like, he ain't gonna last.
did you
Just
stay up for it in the end?
No, I went to bed early and woke up
Woke
for it.
up for it.
Bruv, I went to bed at 10:30, which is like the earliest I think I've done in like the past fucking 4 years. It's
Bro,
mad,
I
that.
heard you say, "Oh, I'm going to bed. It's nice," and I was like, "That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard you
Yeah.
say."
And the fact
But-
you're actually stuck with it as well.
Because it's
What?
like every 3 p.m. every day, we're just like, oh yeah, what time did you go to bed last night, Con? Like, about 6 a.m.
Yeah, because I can't sleep. But like it's weird. Like I find if I close my eyes, I can just turn off.
Yeah.
And that's
Just
what happened.
actually
Because I had a plan. I was like, I want to get up at this time, so I need to sleep now. Otherwise, I ain't gonna sleep.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's always. Do you always stay awake? It's always like that mind battle, and it's like, can I actually be asked to stay awake? Like, it's easy getting to like 3 or like 2-3 o'clock, but it's those next 3 hours, and you're like, oh. And the earlier fights always fucking finish sooner.
Yeah.
And then you're just thinking, oh, I should have just gone to kip, woke up early. But then you know what happens then? Most of the time, you wake up, see your alarm, you're like, oh, fuck it, it's 5 in the morning.
I always find, like, to get to 2 and 3 a.m. is so easy because it's still considered, like,
Night.
a late night.
Yeah, not early morning.
And then when it
like-
goes to 5 and, like, you end up going to bed at, like, 6:30 and 6:30, 7, you're like,
Yeah.
I could have just got up. Like,
Yeah.
I could have...
Yeah.
I don't understand why I've stayed
just
up for
started the early day
Uh,
kind of thing.
That's why I've just given up on it now. I can't be arsed staying up for them.
Yeah.
Cause they're on YouTube within like the next. They're all over Twitter and YouTube. You
easy.
find out as soon as you get up. So I'm just like, oh. Fuck,
Even if you woke up at 7, you could literally watch the whole fight.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it didn't last long.
No, I mean, went
Short, couple
2
minutes.
rounds, and to be fair, I thought it was a quite evenly balanced fight. To be fair,
But they're both just gonna stand up and scrap.
yeah, it was never going to be a ground game between
No.
any of them.
Well, I mean, he went for the ground game at the
He did.
start,
He did try and take him, but
and it looked like it tired Dustin more than Conor.
100%. I think both of them are solid strikers. I think that was always going to be their game plan. I just think fucking Poirier executed his plan a lot better because I know he said that he was going to target the leg kicks. That was what his coach said.
Oh my, those leg kicks just
Fuck
look
you,
disgusting. They
Yeah.
look disgusting.
Yeah.
Imagine getting one like when we play football and you have a shin to shin. It's
Yeah.
the most painful thing in the entire world.
And you got a shin pad on.
It
literally.
like slides and then you get some graze down your shin. Oh no, I can't be having them ricochet toes like
Yeah. But the thing
on your
is,
shins. Oh
like
mate.
they say though, don't they, to like actually
Oh.
block the kick, you've got to actually hit shin to shin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you've
rather
got
than
meat with
leaving
it.
your like to check it, you've
Yeah.
got to like not leave your muscle exposed. And honestly, that just sounds worse.
You got
It
meat
pissed
with
me
yeah.
off so much, man. Someone kicking at me and me having to like take the blow.
Yeah. Because I know normally they just
Oh.
try and lift their leg, don't they, and try and pull it away from it, like
So
follow
they-
through with, like take the impact and move
So they
with it.
lift it and push it towards where the leg's coming from.
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
if someone's kicking me like this way,
Yeah.
I'm lifting my right leg and
And pushing
pushing.
outwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
It's
when you're
mad.
doing that multiple times and getting licked in the face,
it's just gonna hurt blocking.
Oh,
it. Like both
fuck.
of you are hitting shins. You're going,
Yeah.
like
Oh.
none of you are winning. Surely,
No, you're
No.
both fucking taking a beating. It's your own
it's
fault.
like it's fucking like we are no experts on
Oh,
fighting.
no way. No
so
way.
we're just looking at these things like that is gonna wreck.
Yeah, 100%. But
My shins are on fire watching it.
The one thing I think is the dirtiest move is the heel stomps. I fucking hate when they
Oh,
stomp on
yeah.
people's feet.
yeah.
Do you remember when we stayed up
So
for the
dirty.
Usman
Yeah.
Masvidal fight?
Yeah.
He's
And
the
they were
main-
just hugging on the cage, stamping
That's
on
the thing,
toes.
isn't it? It's always you stay up and then you don't, even if that fight's a fucking disappointment,
Yeah,
then you
it's-
just get even more fuming at yourself.
Yeah.
It's
You're like,
why
well, I
did
knew
stay up
it.
for this.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And,
worth it.
and because you're so tired, and obviously you've had a little bit to drink or whatever to stay up, you're even more grouchy.
Oh,
like this,
pissed.
fuck's
Yeah.
sake, I should just gone to bed.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's because the fight before, I think, was Chandler and what's his name? Dan Hooker, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that finished early as well. Like, I think it was definitely a first round knockout. And it was quite a good scrap, but it's just that fucking. It starts at like 5, say, that fight.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, okay, if this one's done now, they'll come out early. No,
No,
it's
they-
45
yeah.
minutes and then of fannying around, like watching them just
Never
fucking warming
Speaking.
up. Yeah, like
It's
a
like
little
they got to
video.
make it this whole event because the fight's probably going to last 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, they've obviously got the plan to, right, these guys coming out at this time, regardless of what happens in the fight before. It's like, these guys are coming out at this time. It's like a festival.
They'll
Yeah.
have a plan of how they're going to fill the time.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they
of
finish
course.
early, they're like, oh, we can play this advert then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and wait and wait and wait. But
Yeah.
it's annoying because like they fought in Dubai and they're like 4 hours ahead, I think. So from when they started, it was like 9:30ish or maybe 9 o'clock in the morning for them. But I think they do it, and it's just so annoying how they do lay it out because I think they favour like America.
Yeah.
I think they favour like all the
Yeah, no, I
streaming
think they
services
do.
in America, and it's so fucking annoying because they could definitely do it at a
Well,
better
'cause
time
they'll
for
just have-
everyone.
Yeah, but like that's probably the main viewership
Yeah.
is America.
100%.
Without
But
a
then
doubt.
what I don't understand is the Khabib. We spoke about this
Mm.
when before the Conor fight, and the Khabib and Justin fight
Yeah.
was on at 10 p.m. here.
Mhm.
So what? It's what 3 p.m.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Like
and
midday.
that, you know,
works
Justin's
for
Justin's an
everyone.
American, so I don't understand like
Why?
why they wouldn't have put that prime time as well. So I don't understand why all the fights are completely
Not there.
different times
Yeah.
in the same place.
Yeah.
Especially when you got an American, like obviously American was fighting McGregor and American was fighting Khabib. Surely they would have put that on at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Whoa!
It
I'm
doesn't-
starting scrapping my mic.
But I was just thinking, like, it's even for like the
Throwing
fighters that are
helmet.
fighting earlier, like the undercards and stuff are scrapping at like fucking 5 a.m. If you think about it,
Dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine
true,
that
yeah.
waking up
5, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
just
no.
gotta be on smoke from the minute you wake up.
I bet you just live for smoke, don't you?
Yeah.
If you've made it to the UFC, all you want to do is
It's-
smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching an interview with Conor and he was like, I prefer the late ones, but obviously it is what it is. And I was like,
Yeah.
bruh, fighting that early, you just
9
You
a.m.
ain't even had your cup of Joe.
Literally, you haven't had time to fully wake up. But I was thinking, even if you fought at like 10, like at 10, half 10, I think that's a shit time to fight as well. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be
What, at
best.
night?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you're
I-
just about because at what time you'd have to wake up late to like fucking get like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
'Cause
but, like,
it's
that's
a
the thing
long
is you
time
gotta-
to
you
wait
gotta go
all
into that.
around
Yeah,
all
it
day.
is,
Like
yeah.
with like peak performance.
yeah.
And I don't think you can do that early.
No, I
like
just
unless
think-
you're waking up
No.
hell early, you got to adjust your sleeping pattern
Yeah.
weeks prior.
Well, that's what I'm assuming. That's what they do. I haven't actually seen anyone talk about it, but I'm assuming you'd have to. You'd have to like train your body to get up at those times.
Yeah.
And be ready because taking licks that early in the morning, I
And
don't
you
care. I
woke
don't
up
care
and
how
taking
professional
pictures.
you are. That is not fun.
They would have had to, once they finished fighting,
Just go and have
it would have been
breakfast.
like 10 a.m. Yeah.
yeah.
And then you're on crutches, like walking around the fucking buffet.
Literally,
Like,
literally.
Like, oh yeah, I just got banged for
yeah, my
breakfast.
calf's battered in from him kicking me in the shins the whole time.
Yeah.
Mad.
So he did say that he should have worked a little bit more on those leg kicks. Like he didn't. He thought he was blocking them, but it clearly just shows that.
Well, no, that's the thing is he's probably blocking them, but it's like you're still going to take a blow from it and take 3 or 4 of those. Your legs going dead regardless.
Yeah.
I think.
Literally.
I know it's always looked painful, like blocking those kicks, but the most successful one I've ever seen was the Anderson Silva one, where he went to kick him and his
Yeah, he
leg
snapped his
snapped
leg.
and it went wrapped
Yeah,
around the
but,
guy's leg,
I
but he
knew you were
didn't
on about
feel it
that.
because of the
Mm.
adrenaline. So he went to put his foot back down and he just
Oh,
folded and fell over.
bro, I hate that
Minion.
fucking vid,
It
man.
is so
Minion
Like, I
against
love-
Chris Weidman.
I don't know why. I love watching shit like that, but I also fucking hate it. Like, makes me feel grim, but I like experiencing the feeling.
But that's the thing. It's like
Injuries. Oh.
like now there's no fans though. I do feel like because you can actually hear the blows a lot more,
Yeah.
Oh.
so you can hear the
Yeah.
impact
I
of
prefer
the
it.
shots. I do
I
like
prefer
it.
it.
as well.
I do like it, but there's something about just not be like if you're in the stadium watching it, you could actually like feel the blows a lot more. Like I feel like when I'm watching things on TV, like they're throwing winners and they don't look like they're hurting
Yeah.
as much as they probably are. Like when you see them like in like the post fight interviews and stuff, and they're all scratched up, they're all swollen and that.
Yeah.
I just think when I'm watching it, it doesn't look like it would do that damage. But then when you
Yeah.
watch it in like slow mo and stuff, and you see in their face,
Slow mo
Yeah.
makes everything look raw.
Yeah.
100%, they're the best highlights.
Yeah.
But I think it come to like it pleased a lot of people. I think that he lost.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people liked that he lost.
It is a bit annoying that people celebrate another person's
Like downfall.
Yeah, they're
Downfall.
celebrating
Yeah,
his downfall
100%.
more than Dustin's win.
like.
yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, it shows how like good he's been. The fact that people are so happy that he lost again.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit frustrating. It's yeah.
It does piss me off. Like obviously this time around he was a lot more humble. Like in even just like the press conferences
Yeah.
and stuff, and they were just getting
New man.
along. And I
New man.
he
I
literally
do want
was.
old Conor back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Like I
Humble
do
Connor
like
is
seeing
my
like
favourite.
100%. But I think it's like the showtimeness of it, and it's like everyone used to like him, or I think he did a lot for the sport because he was this arrogant bellend, just said what he wanted kind of thing.
People like loved him or hated him.
Yeah.
But he got reactions from people for sure.
And I think I do think he's better with fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because
To gas
people
him
will
up.
crumble under. Because like the Irish fans just go everywhere.
Yeah.
They go everywhere. Whenever it's Irish football making it to the Euros or
They love
anything,
it.
they just go everywhere.
Yeah.
And
And
you
they're a
could see
rowdy
it.
bunch
Yeah,
as well.
you could see it when he would get like main events. You'd see that the whole stadium is just Irish fans, and
Literally.
people would fly to Vegas and just be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Just for
They don't have
support it, like.
tickets; they just gone there,
Yeah.
and
I think that's
people would crumble because of how much popularity and how much noise they would make.
Yeah, it's a definitely an intimidating set of fans. Like I think that about like Welsh fans as well. They're just like a lot of, I don't know. I think it's like they've got that kind of
Dude.
loyalty. Like I don't find like English fans are like loud, but I find them just annoying. Do you know what I mean? I feel
It's-
like Welsh and Irish
yeah.
fans are like actually like proud rather than just being a dick.
The
Do you know what I
difference,
mean?
the difference between it was like, especially with the Euros, is you had the Welsh fans. They'd make a shit ton of noise, but then you would see them mingling and having an awesome
Yeah.
time with all the other sets of fans.
Yeah,
And like there was videos of the Welsh fans teaching those Belgian fans the "Don't Take Me Home"
Yeah,
song
yeah.
and stuff like that. And then you see
Yeah.
the English press and stuff, and there's just bottles
Bald
being
heads.
thrown in this
EDL.
like smashing out pubs and stuff.
It literally is.
Yeah.
It's just the maddest thing, and there's the whole thing about them being like targeted now because of I was watching like a Russian hooligan,
Right.
and he was like, oh yeah, we took the idea of all this violence from like old English fans
Yeah.
because they just used to go everywhere,
Yeah.
like because of the old Green Street film and
Yeah,
stuff.
Millwall and all
And
that.
this guy was sat there doing this interview, and he had like a balaclava on, Fred Perry,
Yeah.
Mob mentality.
Island.
straight out of Russia. I'm like, wow, okay. I was like, I can clearly see the influence
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
from Green Street.
It's class. But yeah, I watched like the post-match or post-fight interview with Poirier as well, and he was saying it was annoying, and he was kind of like, he wasn't slating UFC fans, but he was like, I walked into booze, and he was like, that's the first time, because I think last time he fought, I don't think there was fans maybe, because he was like, I walked out to silence, I think last time, or just didn't walk out to booze anyway, because he was obviously the underdog for
Yeah.
this scrap, and then he
Yeah.
said it was nice because when he did win, he walked out and everyone was cheering him, and he was like, he was like, they're literally like UFC fans are so bipolar, they just
Yeah.
don't know whether
Yeah.
they support you or not.
It's the same with fighting fans. If you put on a show, like you can come out and be booed, and if you put on a show, they'll cheer for you as soon as you.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same with all sorts of fighting fans.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird,
no,
though, isn't it?
reminds me of the Spider-Man movie where he goes and they're all booing him, and he bangs that guy like chainsaw or something,
Oh,
and they're all
yeah.
going mad.
Oh, what does he say? Oh, I can't remember. I'll think. Oh, fucking
It's
hell.
like the human spider. No, that sucks, man.
That sucks. Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I
That's
don't know
a
what,
what a
film,
class
bro.
I don't know
film.
what you're on about.
That was the original one, bro.
Tobey Maguire.
Nah,
No, you need
over
to
my
see
head.
it.
See, apparently he's back in the. He's back because they did the whole into the.
Yeah,
Spideyverse
Spider-Verse,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Apparently they're doing that in real life, and
Shit, that would
Toby
be sick.
Maguire's
Gonna
in
be
that,
back there.
and so is Andrew Garfield apparently.
Oh yeah, I think
Apparently they're all going to be involved.
everyone.
I think I remember you saying about that before.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it. On
Yeah, I think you have.
Tom Holland as well, is it?
Yeah.
Just everyone. That
Yeah,
would be
all of
sick.
them. It'd be real, wouldn't it? And
That would
apparently
be
all the
sick.
old Mary Janes are coming back as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm well up for that.
That'd be class, wouldn't
100%. I'll watch that.
Rose.
To be
Yeah,
fair, I'll probably
I
watch
will.
everything.
Yeah, I won't.
I'll wait
Yeah,
for
straight
your.
over my head.
I'll wait for your breakdown of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Breakdown's coming soon.
Oh, tell you what. Speaking of watching stuff, being stuck inside, I've watched so many series now of like foreign shows because
Yeah.
I put them off for so long because it's like they're foreign. I'm like
Yeah.
every time I go over it, they look class.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Take some effort to watch.
yeah, I'm like, I need to be like properly
The full
zoned in for
focus.
this, and I like fully zoned in, and I just every time I couldn't bring myself to do it, but now I've been like, there's nothing else to watch now. Like I just can't be,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna fucking
you
sit there
are
and
up
do it.
there without a doubt with one of the people I know that just go and watch everything. Pretty
Oh,
much anything that's
I
been
got-
put out, you've seen.
Do you know what? I was thinking I might just start doing little reviews and that so the man can read them, so they know what to watch.
Yeah.
It's fucking honestly.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it.
I've watched 3 now. I watched 3 foreign series in a row. And fucking a few weeks ago we were on here, and I was saying I don't want to binge. I don't like binging.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was sat there. I'm like, fucking, I'm just sat here binging now. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And one was Undercover. One was called Undercover, one was called Kingdom, and one was called Dark. And
I watched the trailer for this Dark.
oh,
It looked mad.
It
It
is-
did look a bit weird.
I
didn't
I
think
don't
it
like
looked
watching
scary,
trailers
though.
because it either doesn't do it justice
Or it shows the whole thing.
too much.
Yeah,
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 and then
yeah.
you're like, I've just watched all the best bits.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer countless times because like I'd go through a few month cycles, be like, right, I need to watch this now, and I never watched it, and then I'd watch the trailer and be like, I really need to watch that, and the trailer gives fuck all away.
Oh, does it?
It gives fuck all.
I like
It's
that.
like we're halfway through season 2, and I still haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. It's such a small group of people, but the story's so big. It's just fucking mad. It's so mad. And I was telling you the other day,
Yeah.
it is one of the best things I've ever watched.
What's this now?
Dark.
Dark. Yeah.
It is like
What's this now?
Yeah.
I've never been so intrigued by a TV show.
Yeah, I
ever.
know.
Like genuine.
Are
It's
all 3 of these
so
on
good.
Netflix?
Yeah, they're all on Netflix. I think they're all Netflix originals as well.
Netflix smashing it.
They are smashing it.
Yeah. Amazon are trying to do the same, but
Yeah.
Well, I do love it because they're all pushing each other, but like Netflix was
Like
on
the
top of the game
healthy-
before, and they've just stayed
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah.
I mean, Sky is pretty close.
Yeah,
the
well,
quality of the stuff that Sky do is fucking class.
They've been doing it for a minute now as
Yeah.
well, though, to be fair.
Well, what would you say are good ones that Sky have put out? 'Cause
Black
Gangs
Monday.
of London.
Gangs of London, Black Monday.
I watched Gangs of London. It was good, but it
Haven't seen
wasn't
it.
like top tier. Yeah, straight up, man.
Yeah, fucking fly up
I
there.
haven't actually seen it.
Have you not?
No.
No, like the
If you-
fight scenes
The fight
and shit are
is
sick,
the
but
fight scenes are the best bit about it. I think it's a bit weird.
the Gangs of London.
Yeah, Gangs of London.
Black Monday, I haven't heard anything about.
Black
but
Monday's fucking so good. It's so good. Seth Rogen's a fucking genius. He makes so
He
much
is.
stuff, and then in the credits, it's got produced by Seth Rogen. I'm just like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course it's produced by him. He's a fucking. He's
Class.
so good. He's
because
so
he
good.
smokes.
He does what? Preacher. He does The Boys on Amazon. That's it.
Shit,
You've
man,
that
I didn't
one,
know
haven't
I've watched a couple of them, yeah.
you? Yeah, he's
didn't know
done
he
The
did that.
Boys.
Yeah.
He
Got a
does
couple
Black
through.
Monday. He does so much stuff, and they're so good. I feel like
I do wonder how much they have to input to be quoted as the producer. 'Cause you know they
Yeah.
get like 3 or 4.
I reckon
And it's
they
'cause
just
he's a
take a
big-
base
big
level
name.
idea, though, and then they
Yeah.
roll with
They
it.
just sit in a room
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, that sounds
He's
good.
there perfect in
It's
a
like-
suit. He's just there,
know-
still blocking, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we should make a superhero, and then mad.
Yeah,
fucking so good.
but it works.
And then he goes, yeah, go and do what you want with that.
It's class. Well, like obviously an executive producer, you have to overlook everything.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine he loves that, though.
Oh,
I can
bet.
imagine he loves being heavily involved with it.
Have you seen all his little pottery things he makes? He's
No.
like really into like clay. Was it when he
Like,
where he
yeah, like
spins
clay
the
pottery.
clay thing, and he makes
Yeah.
loads of different little vases, and I see him on Twitter all the time. I'm like. And he posts a picture, and it's just like, yeah, I made this vase. And it's
Yeah.
got like a spliff hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I made this ashtray.
It's weird, isn't it? Because
It's
it's
so
like,
good.
like Action Bronson, he got into like painting as well, didn't he? I don't know if
Yeah,
you've ever
he
seen that.
did.
So he got into painting, like fine art and stuff. And his pieces were selling for some mad money. Like he was doing all his album covers and stuff. I think when you just hit a point in either music or just your career, you just have to find that like outlook in it. Or
Well,
that.
yeah, because you it's always good to have all hobbies, and
Yeah.
when one of your hobbies becomes a job, you kind of need to have something else
Just
to
to
switch
back it
off
up.
onto.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much time between stuff that they work on.
Yeah.
They're probably like, and like I think for music artists, it's you need that escape from
It's like
thinking of
downtime,
music.
innit? Yeah, yeah, of
Like you
course.
need to just do something just to get away from the music.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just trying to get as many songs as you want, they're gonna just turn
It's
bland.
like I
Do you
don't
know
know
what
if I don't know if
Yeah.
you know this as well, but Jim Carrey's like a massive
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah,
He loves it. Like
He
just
loves
makes all
try- he
these
loves
mad,
fucking-
like they like I don't really know what you call it. They're like
the
trippy,
cartoons
like trippy,
looking,
colourful as fuck. Like
Taking the piss
painted.
out.
Well, like
Trump.
that's the thing is when you're that big, you could do any shit like that, and it would
People will
actually
be like,
make
you've
money.
got your name on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you just want to see how their mind works, and they
Yeah.
could make some shit ass like child's coloring book, and you're like,
Literally.
I won that.
Yeah, just because you've got your name.
That looks raw.
David Walliams does it. He makes children's books, doesn't he?
He's one of the biggest. Like I think he's one of the best-selling authors for tortoise. He's a tortoise. He's one of the best-selling authors for kids' books, which is mad. So mad.
Little Britain got taken off BBC thing, didn't it?
That's mad. Like, I do think it's ridiculous how soft everyone's got.
But I mean,
it was very, very pushing boundaries, like, of what's acceptable.
I mean, there was, it was the stuff like the woman who'd be sick all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, who made this?
And that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
that stuff.
It was on the line, definitely.
Yeah.
It was just like we're in a period of time though, innit? I don't think you can look at it the same way as you would now. I think you have to put yourself back in the time when it was released, kind of thing. But I think if you're new or you're younger and you watched it and you didn't look at the year it was released and stuff, you'd be like, oh, what's this show? Yeah. And then you might think it's like, I do understand what they have to do it.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
It's them mocking. It's them mocking people like that.
Yeah.
It's obviously like, if you can't see that, it's just them making a mockery.
It's just banter. Like low-key, it is like comedy. Like it's the best comedy is the darkest comedy.
Do you remember Frankie Boyle?
Yeah,
like
I don't know,
Boyle. Like what's he doing now?
I don't know, but all those types of comedians that take the piss out of like the worst subjects.
Yeah.
Are the ones. It's what comedy. I think, in my opinion, I think that's what comedy should be.
Yeah.
Like none of this jovial stuff. I just don't find it that funny. Like I find it just irritating, if anything.
Who's jovial?
No.
Straight off my head.
No, jovial. No, jovial's like a word for like being happy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jovial.
Like joyous.
I guarantee it's not that. It's something close to that. It's like
fuck it slow.
Joyous.
No, I'm having it now.
What do you say?
I don't know how you spell it.
What do you say?
Jovial, cheerful and friendly.
Jovial.
Get in there.
Let me see
you're
it.
going juvie.
Okay, alright.
Jovial.
Bow.
Alright, you can win this one.
Yes.
He's done it.
Call me out.
He's done it.
First of the day.
But I was saying, we're moving. There's quite a few big fights now that are coming up. I know, obviously, we just kind of went off topic a little bit, but we're back. Yeah, so there's like a few things that have kind of popped up. I want to say this week or maybe last week I sent you the Fury AJ confirmation.
Oh, yeah.
Still yet to see any confirmation off either side of them though, but a lot of articles.
I've seen Fury say it.
Yeah, Fury's been all over
AJ's
it. I saw a video in the chat.
I actually haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I swear. Oh yeah, fucking I missed that. Well, he actually has confirmed it.
No, it's not. He's just saying that he's gonna beat him and like shout him and shit.
Yeah.
And
oh right, okay. Because I've seen the last thing I think I've seen of Fury was after his last fight.
He did, like, straight
fight,
after
and he was
that.
like, what did
he's like, what, 6 months? What, 6 months?
what did he hashtag? And he's like, you big fat dosser.
You big dosser. Big bum dosser.
Big bum dosser. And he was calling him out. But I think it will definitely go ahead. There's been a lot of
I fucking hope so.
Confirmed, I want to say, articles.
Yeah, there's you can never believe it, can you? Until like it's
one of
fully
them just
done.
like you see that fight photo. Do you know the poster for it?
Both squaring up.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. Then I'll know it's actually on.
Where do you think it'll be? Do you think it'll be Wembley?
I would like to say it would be here, but the way fucking Dubai's going at the minute, and like the way
it's
going though, they're just chucking peas at it, and I don't blame them. But it might actually be. I know.
I don't know.
Well, what's
it
his
stadium,
name?
so I was going to say, imagine it was in Eddie Hearn's back garden, but I doubt it would be.
No, I read something about it being done in the Millennium, but I don't.
Yeah, well, that was, because
AJ
it's neutral ground,
isn't
isn't it? It's UK, but it's neutral ground, because they were saying Fury had won it up in, like, Manchester.
Yeah.
And AJ would want it down in London, so then they
think logically it just makes sense to do it in
Millennium. Have it here,
yeah,
please.
Have
it here,
please.
No, I don't think it would be that great in terms of stadium for that. Like, I feel like the seats aren't the best. To be cold as fuck.
But that's the thing.
Why are every stadiums? There's so much colder in the stadium than it is outside.
So cold. Yeah. But I just think that. Even any stadium at all, like regardless of what stadium you're in, if you're in the top tier, you're fucked. You can't see much.
Oh,
at
No,
all.
no,
And
yeah.
that's the worst part. Like,
Why spend
Yeah.
money to do that when you
Yeah.
can watch it up close at home?
literally, I feel that. I do feel the same way. Like, if you're getting
And tickets would be-
ringside,
Fucking
So
tickets would be the
expensive.
most.
So expensive.
yeah, and
How much do you reckon just a standard ticket in top tier of that fight?
200-300.
You
Yeah,
reckon?
yeah,
What do you
I was
reckon?
gonna say
Is that what
250.
resale or just straight
Nah,
to
I reckon
retail? You
just
reckon?
straight at retail. Yeah, 200-300. I'd be surprised if
Fuck.
any
That
less.
much to
What
sit
top
on
tier?
some
Like at
dead.
the very
Yeah.
top of the
I
stadium.
honestly wouldn't be surprised.
180, I'd say, is
Fuck.
probably the cheapest.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh
might even
my
bring it
God.
down. It's
Imagine
just so mad, isn't it?
scenes.
Well, you just think like ringside, some of them are like 50 G's. Imagine that, just
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it. You might as well just whack a bet on and sit at home, 50 G's on the winner. Do you know what I mean? You get
50 G's.
you get more for your money. It's
True.
it literally is. But I think they would be silly not to have it here. I think you just have to, innit? They're two of the biggest fighters in the UK.
I
if
mean,
not
that
the
could be
two
what they're
biggest.
waiting
In the
for.
world.
Yeah,
Waiting for like stadiums and everything to reopen so people can actually go. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
gonna miss out.
Yeah, that's
So they
true.
could. I mean, they could confirm it and then just say, "Oh yeah, it's happening
It's gonna
next
happen.
year."
Yeah, exactly.
because
But then-
unless there's like a rematch tied to it, which I'm sure it's going to be a 1 or 2, 3 fight deal anyway. But it could potentially be, well, both of their last fights realistically, like the outcome of it. I don't know how much AJ's. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't, like, when he was doing the post-match interview for the last fight, he just kind of looked like he couldn't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he won and he was like gassed and everything, but then he was kind of just like, meh.
Does
Stop
look like
asking
he's
about the
calmed
Fury
down
fight.
about it.
Stop asking about the
Yeah.
Fury fight.
I see. To me, he seems like the only fight he wants to fight is the Fury fight.
Yeah, do you reckon?
That seems like the
What,
only
AJ?
fight. Yeah.
I had loads of people telling me he was like talking out. All
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Is
It
it
seemed
really?
like that. If you watch the last fight interview, like for the right at the end of it, because
It's
that's
like
all they were
instead
asking.
of
He was like,
confirming that he's up for it, he's like, "Oh, if it happens, it happens."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like,
he
I'm
was
game
like,
for
I'll let
whatever.
Eddie deal with that. He was like, just let Eddie deal with it. But I don't know. I
Get
think
it done.
I was
Yeah.
hoping he'd be like, "Yeah,
I'm
gonna
on
fuck
it.
him up.
Let's go,
Let's
yeah.
do it." Because it would be a sick fight.
Yeah, I think Fury's gunning for it. He
Yeah.
wants it the most out of out of any
He's
man.
just the
Fury's-
best.
Yeah,
He's just the
scary
best.
ass man.
I fucking
I love
love
him,
it.
though.
Oh, I fucking love him. to
I don't
bits.
like
I
him when
reckon
he's clean shaven. I preferred him when he had that
With
big
big
beard.
beard, yeah.
He looks way fucking scary.
He
like
looks
He
that.
does look
Viking.
scary. He does look scary.
You know the front cover of his book, and he's like
Yeah.
screaming with the beard. Oh, fuck that. I don't want to go in with 6 foot of him.
No,
Jesus,
no
he'll
joke.
fucking put his arm around me. His
Literally.
arms are the longest.
And that's the thing, like I was saying, I think before on here, like his conditioning was class, and he's meant to just be hella fit as well. Imagine him just chasing you for time.
He looks like he's proper burly as well.
Yeah.
Like you see the
Yeah.
shorts tugging on his
On his
like
little
belly.
belly, man.
He's
But-
jiggling, but he's raw.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Honestly, that's so much weight to shift around for that much amount of time.
Yeah.
How much did he weigh?
It's like 19 stone, I think, or 18 stone.
Jesus.
He's
How
a
tall is he? What, 6?
6'9", I think. That's a fucking hell of a man. That.
And what's AJ? 6'7"? 6'6"?
I think he's closer, 6'7",
So
maybe
fucking
6'7", about
small.
17, 18 stone. Fucking, that's two heavy men. That to
Yeah.
get that power in your face, like that, nothing, like
Imagine
Raw.
feeling 20 stone in your
nothing,
cheek.
nothing.
Straight
Not
in
even
the
a
bush.
speed, just like a little.
Yeah.
Just
But the thing is,
Just
it's
a
like the
little- Oh,
surface
man.
area that it comes from as well is
Yeah,
like it's
mamping.
yeah, it's like a fair size, but it's also small enough that the impact of it must fucking wreck. I don't understand how anyone finds that enjoyable.
it probably feels like a sledgehammer in your face.
To your absolute temple.
You've got to be so grateful for the gloves, man.
Literally.
Honestly, those
Yeah,
gloves. They wouldn't even hold back much, but
The thing that gets me, like, when you watch like Floyd Mayweather and those with the gloves look massive.
Yeah.
When Tyson Fury wears them,
It's
they
literally
just look like he's wearing like mittens.
nappies. Like literally.
Nappies on his hands. Really trying to face with some shit on it.
That fight has to happen.
It does.
Because
It
it would
does.
it's literally a history book fight. And I hope they don't drag it out over 3. I would like to see just 1 and 2. But then it always gets left as 1 and 1 then.
Yeah,
you can't.
you gotta have a trilogy.
Yeah, you do.
Well, depending on how the second fight goes,
Yeah.
you've got to have a trilogy.
yeah,
'cause
if he
if it
bangs
gets-
him both times.
Yeah, then
Then
there's
it's
no
just
point.
dead.
Yeah.
You're like,
Can
what
we
are you
get
trying to
fucked again?
repeat?
in like in like a trilogy series, there's probably like, oh, if I beat you twice, then there's no trilogy.
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
1-1, then it has to be a trilogy.
It makes sense to be like that, because otherwise,
Yeah.
imagine just getting 2-1, and you're like, well, can we go
Like
for
a-
5?
well,
Yeah,
no.
best of 5.
Best of 5.
Just keeps going
No,
up and up.
you're
First
not
to
fighting
11.
anyone else.
And then you've got to win by 2 fights, like in
Yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
goes on, they fought each other 20
Well-
times.
Advantage.
One
to
punch, you're like
Fury.
40 love.
But I
So
think that
good.
fight, if it happens, it will it was meant to. So I thought they were planning or trying to plan anyway for it to go ahead this year. But the way things are going at the minute, I
Yeah,
can't see,
it'll
and I
get
don't
pushed
see.
back.
Yeah,
Definitely
So
until more
fucking
people
annoying,
can get
isn't
in.
it?
but I think that's why part of the reason as well they're actually having all these fights in Dubai and stuff, because most of the rules over there are completely different to what we're having here. So like lockdown's a lot less intense, I guess. So I think that's
There
probably,
isn't one over there, is there?
No, I think there is for
Fair
certain
point.
things, or there's some things you
Well,
can't do.
You
But
isolate for 2 weeks
yeah,
when you go there, obviously, but then
that's it.
after
then.
that, it's just free game.
Yeah, it's like because they obviously fight like McGregor and that, and I remember Poirier saying he was like, it was the weirdest like build up to a fight, because he was literally trapped in the hotel for 2 weeks just doing nothing. He was like, I didn't actually have anything to take my mind off
Fucking
it,
hell.
so he was like, it was like prep, but he was like, that bit's fine. He was like, it was just literally not having anything to do at all to take
Well,
my mind
I
off the
suppose
fight.
you'd have to like go there with the intention to isolate at a gym.
Yeah,
You'd have to like buy out the gym and be
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna use this.
Well,
while
they
I'm-"
get
They
2
can
rooms,
have-
don't they?
yeah, they can
get 2
train.
rooms. One is turned into like just mats on the floor where they can train and stuff in there.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. It's not just like they get that one room and that's it. It seemed like fucking Conor had a room. He had his own yacht.
Oh
He
yeah.
had
you can
fucking
imagine.
everything. Like, do you
Yeah,
know what I
when
mean?
you've got the money, you just
You can
buy
literally
everything.
imagine.
Buy
It's
the
like
whole
that
floor.
video. I don't know if you've seen that video he posted on his Instagram, and he was like, yeah, "I'm back on the site." Did you see that? And
Yeah, and he's in
and
the
he's a
digger. Yeah.
So I think he was obviously a builder or something before. He was like a labourer of some sort,
He was.
right?
I think he said it in so many interviews. I think he was a
Yeah.
plumber or
Yeah.
trying to get his plumbing.
He was like starting an apprenticeship.
Something like that.
Something like that. And imagine that. This must have been the maddest turn of events for him. He probably
Yeah.
would have thought when he was doing his apprenticeship, right, this is me now. But obviously had the hunger to be a fighter. But I
I
don't
think it was either 2012 or 2008 or something
Yeah.
that he started his first, like went to the gym to do.
in it 2012 or 2008. It was 4 years. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4
but I
years
mean, like,
later.
all right, bro, you carry on.
Go on, go on.
Why are you
I don't-
upset now?
I
Carl?
don't know
Why
what
are
I was
you
saying.
upset?
You lost me.
Sorry. He had his first what? Scrap.
No, that's when he picked up like UFC. He
Oh,
just started
shit.
that day.
Mazza.
Realistically, it's not that many years.
No,
If it-
well,
Nah, surely you
no,
couldn't
in
pick
like-
it up in that quick.
Yeah.
Surely.
But I mean,
No,
to
but I
get
mean,
to
if
the
you're a
level
natural-
he's at,
True, I
like,
suppose.
like you think footballers, they start when they're like 3, 4. Realistically, you start playing ball, and then you just
Playing
yeah,
ball.
you got to be like in an academy by the time you're like 13. Realistically, innit? To start
Yeah.
getting like scouted and that.
Yeah.
You do have those people that come through late.
See, I don't,
well, like
I don't
fucking
understand.
Ricky Lambert, he came well, and Vardy, both of them were
Were
like
late.
Yeah.
amateur, just started like on the weekends,
Is it?
and
And
then
they just
Yeah,
got
smashed it
no.
down.
Vardy was with like Fleetwood or something, wasn't he? Until like he was 24 or something,
That's
and Leicester
mad.
signed him.
Yeah,
It's
but I mean,
fucking
you do
mad.
obviously have those rare things, but most success stories in football are young'uns, isn't it?
It's mad. Like, I was having this conversation with somebody not so long ago. It's like, with footballers, especially ones that get scouted when they're like 4,
Yeah.
are the scouts like, oh yeah, he's good? Or are they just like, well, if we put him in the academy
He can
for a
be
couple of
good.
years, he'll be class. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like,
How do they
should-
actually
the
scout
difference?
them?
Obviously, there's the difference between like, there's not that much of a difference between the quality of 4-year-olds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
but then
yeah.
if there's one that's a standout, they'd be like, yeah, we can make him something.
Yeah.
But then if you pick somebody else as well, and they spent the same amount of time
yeah.
In the
in the
academy.
camp, would they be a similar level, or would the
Yeah.
kid who was worse be better because he's like, well, this kid's better than me, I'm going to work hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no,
It's like,
I do.
what
Well,
makes
like,
the scouts
yeah.
decide, let's have him in our team?
Well,
Yeah.
they could
He's
just look
4.
for traits that they're looking for, like one who's got fucking
Ball
hard work
control.
ethic.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And it's like he's gonna fucking put everything into the team.
There's
But then,
something
like, you
about
think
it,
of the
though.
amount of people that like Vardy's that have been missed.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
There's
Like-
something about it though that I just don't like with like football scouting and stuff, because they do it at such an early age that you generally have to dedicate like your whole life from
Oh,
such a
yeah,
young
yeah.
age. And it's like when they enter, like you don't have the longest career in the football.
Well,
as a
no.
pro
Yeah.
baller, like unless you're someone like Ronaldo or whatever, like or someone like that that's been around for just a long time now. It's very rare that you see them go on for like 20 years,
Oh, yeah.
realistically. Do you know what I mean? So I think you have to dedicate such an early part of your life to it. And then when it does end, you're like, fuck, what do I do
Yeah.
now? And I'm only like 28, 29 sometimes. And you're like, what the fuck do I do now? I'm actually
Yeah.
still so young, but I've just missed this fucking last
The
20
whole
years.
you've been on like it literally goes as like a strict diet as well. And
Yeah.
stuff, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Probably why you see the young like really promising players. Some of them when they get to like 20, you see them go
Just
on a
out
holiday to
boozing.
like Maglev. Do you remember the picture of Jack Grealish asleep outside his hotel
Yeah,
in Ibiza or something? It's like
Yeah.
they probably go mad. They got all this money
literally.
because they like burst on the scene when they're like 18,
And they
Yeah.
can't do much with it.
and they've
Can't
been
even really have fun. So
Yeah.
they're like, fuck, I'm just gonna go have
It's
fun.
like you're a kid and then you're an adult.
Yeah.
There's no like
No, there's no growing up
Yeah.
in the middle of it.
you're not allowed to be this Asbo teen.
Yeah.
Fucking.
No, you're totally
That's
right.
true,
Like
yeah.
I remember Peter Crouch talking about it before, and he was saying that it's why you see a lot of them turn to like gambling or like drugs and drink and that when they do finish, because
Yeah.
they're like, wow, I've actually just got this massive void in my life where I used to have 8 hours a day
Yeah.
filled by playing or training or whatever,
yeah.
and then now they've
And
just
all the
got
money to do it as well.
Yeah.
Like it's mad.
and that's why the money can dry up fast. Obviously, if they don't plan ahead.
Why are you driving fast?
Yeah, but
The weekly fast.
Yeah.
fast. But I think like you were saying with McGregor, like he had it 2000, say it was 2008 or 2012, whichever
Yeah.
year it was. No, but I mean to get to that point that he's at now as being like
Well,
the
yeah,
biggest
honestly, he was like top of the world
Yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of UFC.
in that short of a time. It must have been a fucking madness.
Meteoric rise, like
Yeah, it literally is just straight up to the top.
Well, I think it's one of those things where like his first scrap, they're like, yeah, you got some natural talent there.
yeah.
You can strike a man, and
But
then
it's
you're like,
like-
all you got to work on is just everything else.
And trying to control it though. It's like when pop stars and stuff they explode onto the scene and stuff. It must be such a change to your normal life that it is probably so
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to deal with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can understand why a lot of them go fucking just off the rails with it, but for him to get to the point he's at now, he's obviously had some fucking ropey conditions at the minute. And
Is it?
like McGregor, he's had some questionable times in the media
Oh,
where like
yeah.
he's just gone off the rails. Like he punched that guy in the old man in
Oh,
the
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he said he didn't
there
like
was,
his
like-
whiskey.
Yeah, paparazzi outside the flat because they thought he was in there hibernating doing crack,
Oh yeah.
and he was getting picked
There's
up in
all
an
the
SUV and that. There was so many. There's been so many things.
I wonder who
like,
that
yeah,
actually was.
It
that
doesn't
photo-
surprise me, to be fair, because I think so many famous people have moments like these.
100%.
And when you're someone who all you do is scrap,
Yeah,
you just want to scrap.
yeah. It literally
Someone
is.
pissed you off, you're like, I'm
This is it.
just going to use what I was built for.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you watched SAS Who Dares Wins. Do you know that show with like
Yeah,
Ant
yeah,
Middleton
yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Like Tony Bellew was on there, and
Oh.
there was this one point, and it was the fucking snakiest thing I've ever seen on a TV show. Right, so they do obviously there's like 10 celebrities or whatever, and then they have to do the whole like SAS training kind of thing, and they do the milling, which is where you just stand there with head guards on and just
Yeah.
start swinging.
Yeah, yeah.
And they fucking snaked him so bad. They all had headgear on or whatever, and they just went
Oh,
right.
yeah, I know,
Everyone
yeah.
scrapped Tony Bellew. So they literally he had everyone just punching him in the face, and he's there, and he's
Taking
like,
blows.
yeah, and
They
he's
were
like,
you're
don't
not-
swing,
yeah,
don't
you're
swing.
not allowed. Yeah.
He was like, you're not allowed to punch back, and he's got about 8 man licking him in the head, and for a
Oh.
fighter, that must have been the hardest thing. And I remember him sitting him down, and he was
Don't
like,
swing.
he was like, you look like you could kill someone. Like you've got that look
Yeah.
in your eye that you're just missing fighting so much that it could go west so fast if you actually had like 10 minutes to do it. He was like, you
Yeah.
look like you could go down for murder. And he was like, I'm trying to battle it, but I just miss it. Like I literally just miss punching people.
Imagine being like, imagine that.
It must be
you
so
miss
hard to contain.
hurting somebody.
It's mental. But a lot of
No.
them, like even Poirier was saying one, he was like, I'm getting to that point now where he was like, I just don't enjoy hurting people.
Yeah.
Because like with that leg kick, you could fucking you can cripple a man pretty much. You can literally like immobilize him.
Immobilize.
But, like-
Immobilize. Your coach. Immobilize him.
And like you've got like McGregor's got like 3 kids now, ain't he? Or 4, 3,
Yeah.
4 kids. So he's got a whole life ahead of him as being a dad now.
Yeah,
so imagine
you'd
he's
hate to
there
see
with
your
one
dad
leg.
slumped out like he was at the end of that fight.
Yeah, it must be so peak. Like, it's all fun and games when you're like
Sorry,
20.
kids, I've been immobilised.
Yeah, fucking Poirier fucking toppled off my leg, like. But yeah, I don't know. I think it serves its purpose for a period of time, and then there must be a point where you're like, right, I need to weaned off this anger, like, somehow, but I just don't know how. I don't know. I've never understood how you can be that angry.
No.
But
I suppose, like, when we spoke about it on the podcast, like, I think it was season 1, where you're talking about Eddie Hall lifting the... Oh, my God, again. Lifting the half a ton off the floor.
What were we saying?
It was because we watched Eddie Hall. He was talking about it. He was like, he'd have to look himself in the mirror and take himself to like this really dark place, and then he was able to lift it. And it was like, you'd have to take, as a fighter, you just look yourself in the mirror thinking the worst possible things.
Like, you're a piece of shit.
Like,
it literally
imagine that as a fighter, like telling yourself, I've got to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's going to take everything that I've ever fought for, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but it's like you are a gladiator.
That's what I mean. I don't think McGregor's at that. He's not at the stage anymore. He's
and that's what a lot of people were saying about his coaching staff.
Humble ass pussy.
Yeah, humble ass pussy. Khabib's fault there. But no, that's what they were saying about his coaches and stuff, weren't they? They were saying that he needs to be around people that aren't yes men. Like, he said that he's obviously changed his coaches up for this fight around, and they've all been like yes men, just dick riding him, and it just didn't work. It didn't give him that hunger that got him to like where he was before. It's like being the champion.
That's mad.
But I don't know. I don't think he'll.
It was John Kavanagh again, though, wasn't it? His coach, right?
Yeah, but no, there was like a couple of... I can't remember who he switched up, but he did switch him up someone. Because he wasn't... I think he had like something...
I watched his like after fight interview, and he was like, people were saying this, like Khabib was saying, that's what you get when you swap your team, and he's like, my team's the same and it's always been.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
who was he switched up then? I don't know, because I've seen a lot of it. He might not have, but maybe
then,
they switched up the training style or something.
Maybe he's just lost the desire. Because he's won
he works
pretty much.
Fucking hard. Like, you can't.
I did proper say that.
You did.
Yeah. He's lost it.
But fuck knows. I could never.
The mouth's got to move in so many directions.
Oh, God knows.
But then, like, you think of Tyson Fury, and he switched up his whole coaching staff to fight Wilder the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. So it's like...
It can go both ways, I think.
Is it? Yeah.
It has to be, innit? Like, I've never had a coach. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Roy, the big man? What do you mean?
But I think it's, you've got to be a different type of person to enjoy scrapping. But it's always weird, like, how people do go off the rails with it and scrap outside of it. Because if you ever go boxing training or, like, mixed martial arts, it's such, like, a humbling sport. And they teach you, like, number one rule is, like, discipline and stuff.
It's a success, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it literally is. I don't even put it down to the actual fight inside of it. I think I literally put it down to just that. It's just the fucking whirlwind of success that throws you into, like, you think you are God to some degree. It's
like, if you go undefeated, you got all this money,
and
then you're like, I can beat anyone I want in the world.
I'm literally untouchable at the minute because I've got so much money.
Somebody disrespects you, you're gonna be like, well, fuck you, I can beat anyone. I fucking battered someone a couple of months ago. I'll batter you now in the pub.
I mean, you've got to be a brave man to just go up to McGregor and say, I'll bang you.
He probably didn't. He just said, fuck this. His whiskey's trash.
Whiskey shit.
Yeah. No, I swear he doesn't even look at McGregor. He just sips it or something.
He probably sipped it and went
out of nowhere. Yeah.
Trash. He probably did that, didn't he? And McGregor's like, I'm not having this.
It's something about Irish people which crack me up. I think they all just love it.
Have you tried Proper 12? I've never tried it.
I haven't, but it's up there. Like, I know it's been rated. It's got a lot of high ratings from all these whatever.
But do you think they're just yes men, or do you think they're...
Don't know.
Well, I don't think you're gonna just go into it and sell shit. It's actually gotta have something. Something there.
But he's doing very well. Like, he's got his fitness apps and stuff like that, and he's got his all.
Oh yeah, August McGregor and that.
Yeah, McGregor Fast as well. He's got that as well. He's got Proper 12. He's got that fucking. He's got his own clothing range and stuff.
Have you seen the Mac Life?
Mac Life.
It's on YouTube.
What
YouTube
he's
channel.
filming.
I think so. Is it his? I'm not
I
really
think
sure.
so. No, I think it's like a behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, it's YouTube, like, you know, fighting news and all
Yeah.
that shit.
I
And
don't know.
it's called The Mac Life, so I assumed
Might be.
it was.
McGregor.
Makes sense. It would make sense. I don't know. I think you can venture off into a lot of
You've got the
different
money, innit?
routes. Well, yeah, you could
Oh,
just employ a
100%.
team then, really, and that's when
Yeah.
you start growing and build it.
Well, yeah, you got to invest the money well. You got it.
Exactly.
So many man.
Well, you got it, yeah.
Literally. But I mean, I remember. So I think Floyd took a couple of shots at him, right? Or was he? I'd seen something, and I think it was a disrespectful post on it. He was like something about McGregor. He was saying something. He was like, "Oh, he's not the fighter that I am," and all this stuff.
Oh, I mean, you're gonna say that
Yeah.
when you're as good
He
as.
was like, "You're just not a champion like I am. You can't be put in the same bracket as me. Like I am the actual champion of it." And it's fair. Like it is.
Oh,
That
Lens
is
cap.
very fair. I was like, "What the fuck?" Because he 50-0 Mayweather.
Yeah.
That's the maddest. That is the
Yeah.
maddest. But
honestly,
like-
how?
The thing, you see all these MMA fighters and stuff happily taking the switch to boxing because they're
Yeah.
like, fuck it, I'm mad as fuck.
we
And
were
I
saying-
know if you come over here, you'll get smoked, so
Yeah.
it's better if I go over there
Yeah.
It's
You know
like
what
we
I
were
mean?
saying,
Like-
what's it called, isn't it? Like it's been agreed now for Jake Paul.
to fight Ben Askren, yeah.
So, yeah,
And for those who don't really recognise the name, he's the one who got knocked out by a flying knee
Yeah.
by Masvidal in
Oh,
2-3
right.
seconds.
by Jorge.
The name rang a bell, but I
Yeah.
didn't know. Yeah.
He's the guy, yeah,
But he,
smoked.
I don't know when that's. I don't. That's
He is,
assuming this year.
he's an awful, yeah, April. Apparently.
Okay.
April, yeah, his whole game was wrestling.
Yeah.
His whole game. So Jake's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's picking on fighters who are just complete
Shit.
wrestlers.
Yeah.
And he's come out and said, like, all these guys have got to work on so many things throughout the week. All I
Yeah.
got to do is work on my
Boxing.
hands.
And
like-
even that he can't even do. Don't even
Like,
get-
he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's making a name for himself. He's making noise,
Yeah.
beating these fighters. He'll probably be, I hope he doesn't, but he'll probably beat Askren.
Yeah, I mean, if he
I
does,
hope
that's
he gets
embarrassing. Because I don't care what. I don't care if you're a special artist in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like you should be. You should know how to throw hands if you've made it to the UFC. I don't even care. Like
Yeah.
I know that's all your game is, but you look at fucking Khabib. Like he was the best wrestler, but he could definitely swing him as
Swing
well if
hands.
he wanted to.
See, there was talk of him, wasn't there? One to fight Mayweather.
Yeah.
Once McGregor had done it.
I don't know.
Jesus.
All this like crossover and stuff. I like it because it does kind of bridge, and it's kind of just like these. It just brings like exposure to both sports, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just think it's such a. I think it's so false, and I think it's so fucking. I think it's so sly on the people that are waiting for these big opportunities. That these people can just
Yeah.
slide over to each sport and they just fucking go straight to the top. I think that's so rude.
Well, I mean, like, if they're not fucking doing anything, if they're not fighting,
Yeah.
they may as well make money doing what they're good at.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
like,
they can jump to different platforms and make money, may
why
as well,
not?
because their career doesn't last long.
No, you're very true. Make as much money as you can in a short space of time, and it's
It's-
like with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. It's
Like-
it's annoying, like the Fury and AJ is like it's an actual rivalry that
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
wants to
it's
see.
been brewing
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
an
for the
actual
longest,
rivalry.
yeah.
It's been brewed. Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like plucked out of the thin air. It's like
It's-
it has to happen
yeah.
because it's like the pinnacle of each belt kind of thing.
Yeah, so like stuff like that. Why is it so hard for stuff like that to happen?
Yeah.
Where it's so easy for somebody who's in a completely different
So
sport
just bam,
Yeah.
to step over and fight
Like,
Money.
yo,
somebody. Like,
scrap me.
money,
You'll get this much
Like,
money.
it's-
money.
but then, like, you think the Fury and AJ fight is going to
It's
be
massive.
so much money.
Yeah, but I reckon both sides of them are both so arsey, like with the business deal.
Yeah.
I reckon
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn's asking for X amount, and I reckon Fury's asking for certain things, and I reckon it just gets so fucking like political. And they're like, no, I'm not doing it, and then they get stubborn, and then they delay it, rather than these two fucking
Yeah.
nobody's going to scrap. They're like, oh, I don't know, a
Fuck
million.
it, let's just fight.
Yeah, let's
You know
have a
you're
scrap
going to
for
win,
a
so let's
million.
just fight. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
I don't know, like like I was saying to you when about Ryan Garcia and Pacquiao having a scrap.
Yeah.
Like Pacquiao's been retired now for I wouldn't even want to
Oh,
say
he's ancient
years,
now.
years. I think
He's
he's done a few
ancient.
exhibitions, right?
I literally,
Literally
I haven't
haven't
heard
heard
of
from
him
No.
for
Yeah.
fucking ages.
I vaguely remember him doing an exhibition in like China or something like that a few years ago. But he's meant to be scrapping now Ryan Garcia, which if you don't know, he's kind of I think he fights in featherweight or welterweight or
I
something
don't know,
like that.
but
One
he's
of the
making a hell
lightweight.
of a lot of noise.
Yeah, because I think he's massive on like Insta
He
and
does-
YouTube and stuff.
Does them videos where he's like, it's really fast.
Yeah. I've never
Bro, his hands are so fast
Yes.
that he does it.
I've always enjoyed watching him, but I never understood the purpose
No,
of it.
it's like you're not going to walk into a boxing fight and go,
Yeah. like I know it shows your speed, but you're not banging a man like that. I don't care.
they're like really small
Yeah.
and their head is there. And just,
Yeah.
like,
I don't.
That
That would be
Shredded.
ruthless.
Fuck,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be ruthless if you hit them and they like start slumping on the cage and you just start
Yeah,
licking
but
them up
if
like
you're
that.
hitting man like this, it's gonna do it as a street fight. They're gonna start like levitating.
they rap like the fucking Christ the Redeemer.
Getting your
Like,
combo up. Finish him.
Oh,
Oh my
well,
god.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I've always understood the
28, I think.
Yeah. I've always understood they're both looking at the camera like what?
In there.
But yeah, I think I've always understood the purpose of shadow boxing. But I went boxing training before, and to do it like as an amateur, it feels so weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
why not just hitting a bag? But I understand it. It's like the whole movement and like all this shit. But to do it and to do those speed punches,
Yeah.
I ended up just fucking like just losing control of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just doesn't feel nice when you're not connected with anything.
Nah. But I think we spoke about it off camera as well before. But you know, what's his name? Thorgnason.
The mountain.
Yeah, the mountain. It's so much easier to
It
say
is
that.
just.
So much easier. He had a scrap the other day.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen it.
His first. He was streaming it on Twitch as well, wasn't he?
What? He's actually had a scrap.
Yeah.
So he
Who was he
said that he
scrapping?
wanted to just like some. But
Well, like a sparring
no,
partner.
Some
no, no.
Randy.
That was a genuine scrap.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
it's
shit.
Full on exhibition, no helmets, nothing. It was
Yeah.
actual
Okay.
fights.
He said that he wanted to get in like 3 fights this year because obviously he's fighting Eddie Hall at the end of this year, I think.
Get
And
the
the
practice
the
in.
guy-
3 fights,
Yeah,
and then that one.
yeah. I think he was saying he wants to aim for 3, which is a
Oh, that's
massive. To be
mad.
fair.
Shit, is that this year?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Like that's the
But
thing.
he
When
was-
you're not a
I mean, I
fighter, you're
love
like,
people
I
that-
could do that easy.
Yeah.
But fighters don't do that shit.
And
Yeah.
especially
So-
with like they're not fighters, so they're going to need as much fights as possible. But honestly,
Yeah,
watching
September 2021.
how was he going to get 3 fights in there?
But no, my man's sending it.
Jeez.
But he fought the guy that he fought. So I don't know if they must just do like not 12 rounds. They might just do like 8 rounds, 8
Yeah,
3 minutes
Makes
kind
sense
of thing.
actually.
Yeah, 8 2 minutes, like just to warm up. But the guy he fought was fucking just nowhere near
The
the
size.
Size, yeah.
Like I think Thor's
Well, you'd
like
struggle to
6'8".
find someone.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Like-
as like an amateur.
Yeah.
How I don't know how heavy he is.
He's a heavy lump. I think he was 20-something stone when obviously he was doing his powerlifting,
Is there a super heavyweight in?
boxing.
Yeah. Or is it just heavyweight when it can just
Nah,
you
I
can
think
just
it
be
is
as heavy
just
as you want?
Heavyweight. But
Um,
there
Do
Do
should
you remember,
be.
do you remember Butterbean?
Yeah, better be. And I was thinking of
Class.
Mark Henry. Didn't he go over to boxing
I
at
have
one point?
no idea. I just remember Butterbean fucking banging Johnny Knox for that. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Shop on Jackass.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
class.
Yeah, yeah.
They run in
yeah,
the
yeah.
shop and he's chasing Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Banging him.
Wait there, 205 kilos in stone.
Now, Mark
That's
Henry
about 19,
definitely
innit?
transferred
What?
What?
He was 32 stone.
No way.
On my life.
205 kilos. Oh my
He
god.
was
Wow.
35 stone and 2 meters and 6. What's that? 6 foot something.
Jesus Christ.
2
man.
meters.
2 meters in feet. He's
Oh
32 stone and 6'9". Wow, that is
Honestly,
the massivest
That is
You
man.
should have
Fucking
seen him
man.
lining up his left hand.
Yeah.
It was like it's chasing him around the ring.
Yeah.
He had his right arm
Had
out
it
like
charged up and
judging the,
but he had his
judging the
J's
distance. He was
on.
like chasing him
Oh
around and the
my
guy was
God.
like,
And he had it-
whoa! And he's just running around like
Oh.
But he would go for it. He would go for a jab, or he'd jab him, and he'd step. His step in his
this. He'd be like
Jordans.
that. Chasing him like this.
And then he would literally catapult at him though. And I was thinking, if this
Oh
guy
my
gets caught
God.
with him, He's done. He is
Oh.
done now. His whole head is snapping off.
Eddie Hall's much smaller than him, though, isn't he?
He's a little bit shorter. I think he's still like 6'2", 6'3", though. He doesn't look
No.
as tall, but he's still a fair
I think
size.
he'll have the movement on him, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
You'd like to think, but he looked sharp. Like Mountain looked agile for his size, bro.
Did he?
Honestly,
Oh,
he did.
shit.
No, he
He
looked
was
good.
hitting the feints and that. I was thinking, bro,
Ooh.
fair play to you.
Don't know how many rounds he could do it for.
Wow.
Yeah. Did he get? Do you know the
I
result?
can't.
Do you know
No,
what
I didn't
happens?
actually watch the end of it, but it's a Mazza. He's definitely not 32 stone now because you can't be fighting a boxing match with 32 stone.
Imagine the
Jesus
size of the
Christ,
lungs you have
man.
to have
Yeah.
to carry that much weight for that
With
long.
just your whole fucking organs, like
Surely
you
your heart's gonna shut down and be like, fucking hell, mate, you're far too heavy.
Fucking hell. Imagine him going to wrestling and doing like a swanton bomb.
Oh, mate.
Mate,
Oh
the
my
ring is
God.
actually caving in.
Oh, it's
Do you
just.
remember? I think that was Mark Henry, actually. Mark Henry and
Big
the Big
Show?
Show. He
Yeah.
suplexed him
Yeah,
off the
yeah.
fucking
That was
ring.
class.
And the ref fell to his knees and he's like, oh, mate, that was the wrestling
Whoa.
peak.
Oh, mate.
The refs would get touched.
Class.
Like,
Yeah.
Uh,
So class.
How
I
tall
can't
is
see.
Eddie Hall?
I can't see the result. But one thing I was going to say, I don't know if you watch Eddie Hall on
Ref.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, do you
Uh-huh.
watch his YouTube
Yeah,
videos
yeah.
ever? And he was doing.
I think he's quite funny.
Yeah, I fucking rate him. I reckon he's funny as fuck. Like his eating challenges when he was when
Yeah,
he does his
yeah.
strongman
Yeah,
diet.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love them videos. They're class. But there was one video the other day, and he was showing like his prep work, like his boxing training. And I don't know if you've seen it, but he smashed his fucking the guy he was training with. Right, he had the body bag on,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the body
yeah.
pad on, and he smacked him with a left hook. He cracked his rib. He was
Oh
like,
my
he went
days.
down and he was winded in the ring, and he was like, "Are you alright?"
You know them ones?
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, you're alright." And then they went to the hospital and an X-ray. He cracked his rib, bro. He was
wow.
spitting
Oh,
blood in the ring. He was like, "Oh my god." He was like, "Are you alright?" Mazza.
Are you alright, Mazza?
Mazza.
Are you alright? Nah, I cracked my rib, bro.
Mazza. So he was 164 kilos.
Jesus.
Them ones where you
He was
get hit.
25 stone.
Fuck me.
This is mad.
Who's this
How
now?
are you this fucking wham 6'5" years?
6'5"? Eddie Hall's 6'5". He looks 5'11".
Yeah.
Little dumpling
That's
ass.
mad.
Innit?
Bro, his
mad how
tits are
small-
massive as well. His
How
tits
small
are
the
huge.
mountain makes him look.
Yeah.
It's only what? 4.
6'5".
6'5",
Imagine me
6'5".
stood next to the
6'5".
mountain, 32 stone. Do you know when you think though you're gaining weight, and then I'm like, yeah, but I'm not 32 stone.
Honestly, when you look at him through the screen, you're like, you're big, but like you're
Yeah.
not mamping. Then
Yeah.
when you see him in the flesh, like your bicep is the size like of both my quads
Yeah.
put together.
It's like when you see like Shaquille
Oh,
O'Neal.
man.
Yeah.
Like I love people stood next to Shaquille
Yeah.
O'Neal and
Yeah.
things like that.
Class.
There's something about someone that's just massively tall. It creases
Like,
me.
how are you that big?
Oh, it just must be uncomfortable. Like everything's just like to put your shoes on and that. You've got to
Nothing-
bend down
nothing's
so
made for you.
far.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's like taking you into account when they're making the average size
Yeah.
It's
doorway or
like-
anything.
Like
Who was he?
less
The Great
34.
Khali. The Great Khali. Do you remember him?
Yeah,
And he would
class.
run down to the ring, but he'd be like,
Yeah, he was so rigid.
really fucking. He couldn't run. It was just a fast walk. Like,
Mazza. Those people
Fuck.
are superhumans, honestly. 32. I can't believe he was 32 stone and 6'9". That is the heaviest.
I don't understand it.
you know when they do those like when they used to I don't see
TV
them much.
shows.
TV
And
shows
they'd have to
where
get
they'd
craned
have
out.
cranes.
Yeah.
How heavy were those people? Do you think?
I don't know. They were at least they were in the good 30s, 40s, I think. World's heaviest person.
I want to see the difference
gotta
between
be
like
done.
somebody who's fucking.
Wow! Wow!
Look at him holding
The
a
world's
guitar.
heaviest man. He was 6'1" and 69 stone. That is so
It's
dumb,
more
bro.
than double the mountain.
He was almost half a ton.
That makes me feel so grim.
442 kilos.
This is some fat guy slumped on the sofa that can't get out of his
Yeah.
bed, essentially.
Yeah.
That is disgusting,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
I don't care what you want to say, but if I seen this on ASOS and the fucking big and what's that fucking big and
Big
tall
and tall.
category for all these these people, disgusting.
Jesus.
Disgusting.
Fucking
Imagine
hell,
that.
madder that is 69 stone.
I'm shook.
I'm sorry, that's disgusting.
I'm so shook.
I don't care, that's grim. Fuck
I
you.
think that's
Stop eating.
I think that's
Anyway.
where we should end.
Yeah. Don't mean to cuss you out, but if you are 69 stone, lose some fucking tub.
Yeah.
I've been Tom.
I've been Spud.
I've been Connor.
Yeah, cancelled.
Yeah.